Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Concert Junkies, Rob and John. Oh, yeah.
And we're live. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Colby Bell. I'm the vocalist of Intel Royalty. There's only two other members, two other guitarists right now, still looking for a drummer and a bassist. There's Austin Livingston and Brian Akers.
I know you're probably asked this a lot, but how'd you get the name?
In all honesty, I think we were just, it was me, Vaughn, and Chris, the old members, that we were just sitting around a table trying to come up with a name, and we were just kept on going and kept on going and kept on going. And my buddy Chris, just being the kind of weird, quirky, philosophical kind of guy he is, he just said something along the lines of, what can we choose as a name that will last until royalty? And I was like, how about Intel Royalty? Vaughn snapped at it, was like, deal. And we all just agreed right at that moment.
So we'll get into this first, and I'll ask you the hard questions here.
Okay.
So your new song's coming out tomorrow.
Yes, it'll be I think it'll be 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or not Pacific, actually. I'm Pacific. That's funny. I think it'll be Eastern. We had that little bit of a miscommunication there. I'm really bad with time zones, but it'll be through Total Deathcore. It's gonna be through Total Deathcore. I made myself a little animated music video based around Naruto for it, so it should be visually pleasing, I hope.
So here comes the hard question here.
Okay.
What do you want to leave as your legacy?
A child. It has nothing to do with music, to be honest. As my legacy personally, I want to bring a child into this world. As far as like musically, it kind of the same thing. I want to pass on as much talent as I feel I perceive as I have to something else.
So who got you into music in general?
Definitely my dad. He started out showing me, actually, I'm named after Stevie Ray Vaughan. One of my middle names is Ray. My other one is named after my grandfather. But yeah, I've grown up with blues. I grew up with Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Queensryche, Sum 41, Motley Crue, and Judas Priest were all my first concert ever at the age of 13. So
nice.
My dad definitely got me into music, and it was heavy. I think 10 years old. No, I had to have been like 8 when he bought me my first guitar, 10 when I started doing vocals. Then he bought me a Baby Dean dime bag edition and then a 150-watt crate amp.
Nice.
Yeah.
So who actually got you into screaming? Like the influences on that?
Well, definitely really hard to say, but Tim Lembesis, one of the greatest vocalists I've ever heard. I really love everything he does. He's just got so much power and just an amazing feel about his vocals, his flow and everything. And it really got me into metal. And then I'd say Matt Tuck was my introduction to trying to sing a little bit more. But I think screaming was just one of those things that I was like, I can do that.
Yeah. So is there any tricks that you can tell somebody that's trying to learn how to scream that they don't pull out their vocal cords?
Oh, man. Yeah, I got one very, very specific one, and I don't know anybody else that really preaches it, but learn to do impressions, like mimicking people, if you will. It helps you shape and understand how your vocals actually work. Like if you want to sit here and do a Trump impression, you're going to definitely be getting into your into your tunnel throats. If
Yeah.
you want to do something like, all right, you got your highs. Learn impressions. You're going to learn the way you vocalize everything, the way you actually shape things, and the way your throat and your dynamics are all working together. Honestly, just impressions. It did wonders for me. It may not work for everybody because not everybody can mimic stuff like that. But for me, it was a godsend. A lot of people. I guess a lot of people would say they worship in a way Will Ramos. Yeah, he's perfected what he's done. He's really, really good at it, but there's probably nothing there that a person that does really good impressions couldn't do.
All right, let's have some fun questions here.
Okay.
All right, Freaky Friday scenario. Which band member you would not want to be for 24 hours?
Oh, can it be a solo artist or does it have to be a band member?
You can choose a solo artist, that's fine.
Weird Al Yankovic. Hate his
Yeah?
guts. I hate him so
Really?
much. I
Really?
don't know why it is. I cannot stand that man. Probably because we're both gingers.
Okay. All right, if you could switch to be any celebrity, who would you want to be?
Ryan and Reynolds. But what man doesn't want to be or be with Ryan Reynolds?
This guy.
I love
Hi.
Ryan Reynolds. Honestly,
Okay.
he's living a really, really good life, and in my honest opinion, I love his tenacity, his humor. He's just somebody I'd like to be and experience for at least a day.
All right, your own 2-day festival. First day is female fronted. Second day is mixed match. Who are your who are you
I'm really
picking?
sorry if you wouldn't mind starting over there. My dog's got a little bit of a cough today.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good. 2-day festival. First day female fronted. Second day mixed match. Who are you having on the first day, and who are you having on the second day?
I'm gonna say Dying Oath, definitely female fronted. Where I want to work the best with. That's just a lot of talent, a lot of humility. In all honesty, I've worked with them directly, and they're just really awesome. Just a lot of talent there, a lot of good vibes that I've always gotten from them, and I'd probably throw them as day one, and then mixed matched. That was kind of hard. Obviously, I mean, my idol, not my idol, but the person who got me into a lot of the stuff that I do is Tim Lambesis. So we've got Azalea dying, but just for the nostalgic reasoning and the love of it, still Tim Lambesis, but Austrian Death Machine.
Okay.
Yeah. You get to the chopper.
Mhm. So you can add a few more to that list.
Oh, it was like a festival.
Yeah, like you can have. It's a Friday Saturday festival. You can. I'm not looking for 180 bands. I'm looking for at least a good.
I do have to be honest. I don't know a whole lot of female fronted bands. I honestly just know some of the I don't know a lot of people by name because I'm really horrible with names, but I just follow artists, to be honest, when it comes to the female fronted genre. I don't call it a genre because I think what's that?
I could have misspoke. It doesn't have to be like female fronted. just
Um, I
because
don't
I
know.
know it's taken in a weird way. It's not.
In all honesty, I don't know. For the first one, I just keep it with with Dying Oath. I'd like to see Mystique do some stuff, like go live with that. That would be really cool. Oh, if you could mix Dying Oath with Mystique, that'd be really
Okay.
cool. Evanescence would be sick too. I know I'm going kind of fronted here.
Oh no, you can go whichever way you want. There's 2-day festival. You can mix and match. It could be even. It could even be hair metal. It doesn't matter.
Okay, let's do the second one. I would definitely want Ozzy. Want that to happen. Just because he's close. He's gone. Like he's I hate to say it, but he's gonna pass soon, and that's gonna hurt me really hard. But I would say Ozzy. Ooh, Kim Dracula would be a good one. That'd be fun.
Yeah, these are your 2 days. You can pick whoever you want. And of course you can play the bill.
Ooh, Wage War. There it is. Yep.
Okay.
They're gonna headline the second day.
Okay.
That's what it is. Honestly, I don't have a whole lot of bands that I listen to regularly. I'm sorry that I'm kind of flopping on this question, but honestly, I kind of just through Heretic Promotions, I just see a bunch of really, really local bands that have under 1,000 listeners or even plays on their Spotify. Not a lot of them are even heard of or it really together still.
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of bands that are super local, super underground that I really, really like because I like seeing, yeah, of course, you can be a huge band and be that top as they lay dying at the top of it, and you could be Black Veil Brides, get with all the production and a whole team behind you. But when you hear a local band that's just like, holy crap, that's just a good feeling.
So what venue would you love to play that you haven't played yet?
I like to play an amphitheater. I'd really love to hear the acoustics from a band for an amphitheater, like a local band that doesn't have a whole lot of PA systeming, just something kind of local venue. Let's say like the Hawthorne Lounge, Hawthorne Hideout. There's like a little small bar venue that they've got. I'd like to hear that kind of production through an amphitheater.
That'd be very interesting.
Yeah, I don't have any specific one, to be honest. I'm really into sounds and acoustics, and I'd really like to hear that.
Out of all the videos that you've made, what is your favorite?
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna just say it. It's not really me self-promoting here or anything, but the single that we're releasing tomorrow, I feel like the way I edited it, I took a lot more time in what I really do, and it's not like top notch like Scott Rudd type of stuff, but I feel like it meshed with the song really, really well, and probably one of my favorites. And then I think I did one for Pacific Skyline that I really, really enjoyed as well. Yeah.
So what got you into making lyric videos?
Just the need for it, in all honesty. It's not even like a need. It was more of a want. I knew what I wanted for my band, my bands, I guess you could say plural, because it's been a couple of bands that I've been in that I was like, I want this, but I'm a poor boy. I'm a poor boy looking for love. Like, I want to love the music and go for it. And I don't want to have to make a bunch of money. And I was also homeless for 9 months. That made it to where I was like, all my money has to go to a specific spot. So that kind of just instilled on me, like, I cannot break my budget. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to do that. And until some people until royalties started taking it seriously, I didn't think my money could go into that. It was just, I gotta do this myself. I gotta figure it out myself and make the best product I can. And I made a lackluster product that was passable, and I guess people seem to like it. And it for local bands, it helps out a lot. It does definitely get the point across with decent visualizations, but it was one of those things, like, I needed a stepping stone. I needed to be able to put something out there that wasn't horrible, but wasn't amazing, just something to get my point across. And I feel like as a local band, that it helped me out a lot. And it was more of a need want situation. I needed something and didn't want to spend.
If you could go back in time, what concert would you go to?
Suicide Silence. I saw. Oh man, no. For Today was amazing. I saw For Today, Enter Shikari, Whitechapel, and The Devil Wears Prada. I saw them at the Shoto Showbox in Seattle, and that was. I literally punched a man in his face while he was crowd surfing because he groped my cousin. Like, it was a really fun night and didn't get in any trouble. He wasn't too hurt or anything like that, but we found her shoe.
That seems like a really fun night.
Oh yeah.
And you found your shoe.
Right. It was actually my cousin's shoe. Mariah. Yeah.
I would have to say I would go back to the first Family Values tour.
Okay. What makes you say that?
That was my first arena show.
Ah, that makes sense. I think my very first, like, out on my own type of thing was a festival. It was Tom Fest. It was like Tom Fest or something like that. That's where I met Azalea Dying, and it was really cool. I think it was like a Christian music festival kind of thing. And there's a lot of really cool bands. I think Darkest Hour, like a band called No Callboy or something like that. It was really cool. It was a lot of really cool people. And that was here in Vancouver. Oh man, we got to bring something back to Vancouver.
If you weren't playing music, what would you be doing with yourself?
Probably making really ridiculously stupid cars. Right now, I'm actually kind of getting into that. I had got a 67 Thunderbird with the suicide doors, a 390, and the leather top. And I'm going to call it Sasuke because it's a Thunderbird. And I'm going to put the Sharingan on the hood and just deck it out. It's going to be my wife's sad boy car.
Once you're done with it, I have to see a picture. That's great.
Oh yeah, I got it black and chrome right now. It's not amazing, but I could send you some stuff.
Oh, that's freaking great.
right?
Is there a band that you have not seen live that you're regretting that you haven't got to?
The Browning. I really want to see them live really badly. And Shokron. Is that how you pronounce it? Is it Chokran? Shokron. Yeah, they're like a Egyptian metal. Oh man, I would kill to see them live.
I just saw, what do you call it, the HU yesterday.
The
They were free.
HU.
Yeah, it's, what do you call it, if you hear a commercial for it, it sounds like the Who, but it's actually the and it's HU.
Oh, okay.
They're I'm trying to think what type of metal they are, but they were playing violins, not violins, stand up basses, and
That's pretty cool.
like it was I'm trying to explain it the best way possible. Chanting metal.
Is it like Viking chanting?
Not Viking, but
Okay.
it wasn't Viking, but it was, what do you call it? Like they played Metallica, but it was all like
Okay.
chanting. They played Metallica chanting, and it was a very interesting, very cool, and very interesting. I'll send you pictures later. It was very.
That sounds pretty cool. In all honesty, I think the craziest band. Oh man, I really hope I'm not getting this wrong. They played at the Analog Theater and Cafe. They played the lower level. I think their name was Cyborg Octopus. They like, I think at one point they got into like speedos and played a saxophone. I'm pretty sure it was a saxophone. It was actually pretty cool. It was really random, but they were like super, like technical metal, and it was like all of a sudden you see these guys coming out and like in speedos. You're like, wait, what? What is happening? You think, oh, Bro Job's entering the chat, but no, it was some random band that I didn't expect to be at a trader show.
That's why I like to go to. I mean, go for every opener and everything. I'm that guy. Doors open at 6:45. I'm there
Oh yeah,
because you never know what. Because sometimes they don't even have the openers on the bill, like the flyer.
oh yeah. I went to the Hawthorne and I saw. I think someone was opening for Born of Osiris that like two of the bands weren't actually on the flyer, and
Yeah,
they were phenomenal. They were amazing, and you were like, why was this not on here? Why did they not advertise this?
I never understood that because like I've seen so many bands that they're huge now. Because I saw them when they opened for somebody, and I've been on a kick of listening to. I listen to everything, but I've been listening to a lot of Bad Flower.
Okay.
And I got to see them before they got big. I got to see Bad Omen before they got big. You know, like I like seeing the journey. Like that's why I normally only if I can't be there, I normally watch every opener, even if
Yeah.
it's like I was at In Flames the other night, and
Mhm.
I had no idea. I'm probably gonna catch it because I'm gonna probably say their name is wrong, but Fender or it was, what do you call it? I'm not trying to label him as, but he's Corey Taylor's son. His band was opening up, and they weren't even on. Their name wasn't on the bill, or I never saw it. So I got to catch them. Like, I had no idea they were going to be there.
That's pretty cool.
Like those moments when you go to a show and you don't see them on the bill and they're there, or they bring a special guest in them, or bring a child on stage. That is the most coolest thing ever.
Oh, exactly. That's what
I
I
don't
want to
know.
do. I want to bring a
Like,
baby onto the stage and just let him sing.
Like, I don't know if they do that. I don't know if they do that on purpose, but that would draw more people. If we knew who was going to be there.
Exactly.
Like, I know it's a 50-50 chance, but like because I see flyers all. I don't just do this. You send me your flyer. I put it on the other social medias. You know what I'm saying? In different groups. I help everybody out the best I can. But
yeah, same here.
But I'm just saying, if I don't see their name on the bill, I'm not going to check that. How am I going to know not to check them out?
Exactly.
All right, I do this every episode. You can flip it on me. You can ask me any questions you want.
Honestly, I don't really have any. You put me on the spot, so I'm freezing. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Buffer. It's okay. All right, I'll give you time to think. Let's Last Supper scenario. You can bring 12 people, 1 female.
Now thinking of people.
It could be cartoons as well, or anime in your case.
Okay. You're saying meet 12 people?
No, your Last Supper scenario.
Oh, Last Supper scenario. You know, anime wise, it's got to be Goku, dead center.
Okay.
Right there, dead center. Then I have to say Wayne from Letterkenny. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back with you.
Okay. So we're waiting for him to come back, guys. So what shows are you guys going to? So is there anything you're looking forward to going to in the next couple of days?
Here, sorry about that.
You're okay.
Yeah, had a little something come up. So 12 people, Last Supper. Goku, dead center, because he a goat. We got Wayne from Letterkenny. I'll do that one.
Okay.
Got to do Vegeta. Definitely got to add a second one in there. BJ Penn. I'd really love to meet BJ Penn. Tim Lambesis would be another one. Matt Tuck. I'd like to meet Brock Lesnar. I don't know why. I'm not a wrestling fan, but he's a person that I'd like to meet.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Ryan Reynolds definitely. I feel like him and I would definitely get along there. Let's do Zach Galifianakis.
I haven't heard that name in a minute.
I love Zach Galifianakis. We got Isla Fisher would be a good one. I like her. We got oh baby, what's her name? Aubrey Plaza. I'd like that one. I'd like to meet her. She seems like a fun bunch. I got one more, two more.
Two. We'll say two.
Okay, The Rock and Kevin Hart. I know they're kind of a duo, but I'd like to meet them together as the last two. That'd be really fun.
I know this is not a question, but if you could be any cereal, what would you be?
Fruity Pebbles. I like Fruity Pebbles. And I'm a little gay.
If you could send this song to somebody to describe you as a person, what song would it be?
Grenade. It'd be a Grenade, Bruno Mars. I do a lot for people. And it's disheartening. I do a lot. I put my heart into everything and get hurt a lot. So I feel like, I know it's super cliche and so far out of pocket, left field type of something, but yeah, I'd say I'd send that Bruno Mars Grenade to someone.
All right, same topic. What's your comfort song?
My comfort song is Hallelujah. Pretty much any version.
Yeah?
Just such a beautiful song, gorgeous. Doesn't matter who performs it, as long as it's done in key and done with passion. It's just such a beautiful song.
What was the hardest song that you wrote that you released?
Probably Nothing Like You. Again, nothing like you is Until Royalty's first single, our first music video. It's actually a really hard struggle with a fight between myself and who I didn't want to become. It was just really, really hard emotionally to write, and I remember tracking it with a buddy of ours, Ashton. I don't know if he's still in the scene doing his thing, but amazingly talented guy. I held a scream for a really long time that it felt really good and really new for me. And just the lyrics of that song and doing it and achieving a goal at the same time, it broke me down to tears.
I was going to ask a question about that. What do you call it? When you have the guy in a sack, did he have earplugs in or anything?
What do you mean?
I could be wrong, but in the video you have I'm watching so much stuff today, but like with the music video.
When in the music video, when Chris had a bag over his head.
Yeah.
No, it was, honestly, most of that scene, because we were at what they call the Witch's Castle in Oregon, or the Witch's House, or the Witch's Den. It's the witch's castle. It's like there's like a little trail that's got a house somewhere in it that's called the Witch's Castle. But there was no power out there. There was no way you were going to hike up there with with a generator, even a big battery pack. Like it was just not happening. So we brought I think it was a Bluetooth speaker, and just acted out our parts as much as we possibly could with as much passion. And our drummer at the time, his name was Chris Cantu. He was the one in the bag.
Because I'm watching the video and I'm like, I'm hoping they're just acting that out, because if not, his ears are shot.
No, we
I'm like, that's what I wanted to ask.
did definitely act out a lot of it, but I mean, that's how a music video is. You act out pretty much everything you do. But yeah, with him being in the bag, it was just a Bluetooth speaker in the corner. Kind of the same way that when I was with my hands behind my back, like in the corner, I was in that same room, just in a corner to the left. It was the same speaker.
So I'm like, I'm hoping they're acting this out, because if they're not, bye-bye eardrums.
Right?
Yeah, like, it is that powerful, that bye-bye eardrums.
Hey, thank you.
Because I was watching the video today. I mean, I rewatch videos just to, so I don't get confused, because it's me. And I'm like, if they're not acting that out, that's, I don't want to be that guy. Not at
Right.
all.
No, we definitely we had a lot of fun that day. It was a pretty good hike. In all honesty, it was really, really fun having my wife and Chris's kid there. It was just, they were having a blast. They didn't realize what was really going on. We were out there for a music video for your dad and her husband, and it was like, we're just out here having some fun, not thinking anything of it. But we got that music video for free. Just a buddy wanted to experiment on us, so we went up to a couple of locations. I think the other location that one of the other locations we went to was called Bongo Fury. I think that's in Beaverton. It's somewhere in Portland.
No, it's really cool. I just didn't. I was like, I'm hoping they're just acting everything out. Okay, speaking of music videos, is there any music video that creeps you out?
No, not really. I like creepy stuff.
Okay, so maybe it's just me. Like, I love the song, but the music video to it just bothers me a little bit. Is, what do you call it? Land of Confusion.
I could see that. The original or
The
Disturbed?
original. No, the original.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Yeah, that could rub some people wrong.
That, and definitely, what do you call it? Google Dolls Slide. Just the lyrical content.
Okay, I can get that.
Do you have any song that just, you listen to it and you listen to lyrics and you're like, nope?
I can't say I do. I listen to a lot of deathcore, so a lot of it is really hard to look at and be like, oh, that's not cool. You know what I mean? Like that's what deathcore, death metal, metalcore, that's what those things are about. They're about pushing some boundaries and doing something outside the norm. So I kind of look at those things as, oh damn, they did that.
Yeah, I'm a little different on that, because I listen to everything, and because here's the thing, like, different. I mean, we all take lyrics in different ways.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's actually real meaning behind certain songs, and then when you find out, you're like, no.
Okay. If we the way you froze the way you phrased it, froze the past tense of phrase. The way you phrased that, Dance Gavin Dance has a ridiculously obnoxious amount of just asinine lyrics that you sit there and you listen to and you're like, what? Who am we? Like, it just some of it doesn't make any sense. Like, the revolving door hit the Snickers, so Black Panther said ew. Like, what?
No, like I'm saying, like if you're good, yeah, there's a lot that like you listen to and you're just like, then you find out the real meaning behind the song and you're like, I would never have thought.
Mm-hmm. This is an interview for me, baby. She's sitting here like, oh my God, Johnny Craig. It's like, yeah, we get that. Let's go mainstream with it. I can't feel my face when I'm with you. That's about cocaine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different meanings behind songs that we just don't get, and I think it's more prevalent in mainstream pop than it is anywhere else.
Like you don't hear too much in metalcore or death metal or.
Yeah, I would say definitely in pop it's going to be a lot more prevalent because there are people that have that dark side that are wanting to be a part of the mainstream media that they just can't be with being direct or using metaphors or stuff like that. There's an approach that metal goes to that has the monikers of the soliloquies with all sorts of random. They're trying to rhyme sometimes on top of telling a story as telling a story with while it's as detailed as possible. It like that's what Until Royalty is doing with this EP. We've got 5 different songs of just one man trying to stand.
Then you go to like Matchbox 20, 3 a.m. That was about his mother having cancer.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to the lyrics, you would think it's about something else.
Yeah, exactly.
I think too much, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right.
Yeah, I get that.
Trying to get back to my notes because I'm that person because I can't remember anything.
Understandable.
I'm more of a goldfish these days.
Oh, I hear you.
What's your favorite part about being a musician? And
favorite part about being a musician. Connection. I'm just going to say, I mean, whether I make friendships or I make enemies out of people or I make just people I passed by, I'll put it this way. I wasn't even doing stuff as a musician for while I was running Heretic Records. But we were doing so much stuff for so many local bands and doing it all for free, all out of our pocket, that we were like 45 minutes. It was like a half hour, 45 minutes from home. And someone was pumping my gas because in Washington, you can pump your own gas. In Oregon, you can't. But I was in Oregon at some point and somebody stops and goes, "Are you Colby?" And it just, my heart stopped for a second because I was like, "Oh shit, I'm about to get my ass beat. What did I do?" Like instantly, I want to be defensive. Like, no, I was like, "Yeah, that's me." And he turns and goes, "You must be Sierra then. I love Heretic Records." And I was just like, "Oh, thank God." Like, and I just feel like as a musician, getting to meet and being that person at the same time, it's just, it's extremely satisfying, as well as it feels really good because you're just doing good things. And as a musician, you can see people interacting in that way as well. And even if you're not participating in that interaction, you can still feel the amazing just gratification that comes from that meeting.
And what's the worst part about it?
Oh, man, there's a lot of bad parts about it. It's the mental health is a constant struggle. Never feeling like you did good enough, never feeling like what you're doing is going to surmount to something. As a musician, I have not once. Oh man, this is hard to say. I have not once heard a single song that I have ever done that I have enjoyed. And that's a really, really difficult part about being a musician. Sometimes you just don't like what you do. And that's okay because you don't have to like it. If you're releasing your energy, your emotions, and all that feeling, and other people seem to like it, like you may just be hypercritical of yourself. You may just be pushing yourself into that negative space. But that is super, super hard, in my opinion, is just not feeling like you're adequate enough. That you're constantly putting out crap because it's not as good as those high up bands that are overproduced, that have 32 layers to one line. Like you're constantly hearing things that mesh so perfectly that you feel like you can't do it.
But it's all mental.
100%.
It's all mental.
Yep. Every last bit of it, definitely mental, but that's exactly it. The hardest battles that we will ever fight will be in our mind.
If you could, all right. Say you had to go to jail for 5 years or go to jail for every weekend for 5 years, what would you choose?
Yeah, my wife and I have been talking about it for a long time, probably a good couple years now. There are people that will go into jail, have absolutely nothing to do, and come out with several different masters. I would like to go in for that elongated period of time. If I'm basically going out and looking at my work as freedom, I'm always going to be a prisoner. If I just go in there, be a prisoner for 5 years, bust my tail, and get a degree, I feel like a lot of people can benefit from that. Just, hey, you have nothing to fucking do, dude. Go get your degree because we're going to pay for it. Like, oh, okay, well, I don't deserve it because I commit a very serious crime. I'm in here for 5 years. I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you would do the entire 5 years.
Yeah, I think mine and my wife's relationship is healthy enough to where we'd be able to make it. but every weekend for 5 years? Is it every weekend until it surmounts to 5 years, or is it every weekend for 5 years?
It's every weekend for 5 years. So like Saturday and Sunday, but you're out on Monday, you have to go back in on Saturday, Sunday. Because Friday's technically not the weekend.
I think that, any person would be stupid not to take hey, weekends you got to spend in jail for 5 years. Screw it. I get to be out I can get a job 8 to 2 every day and bust my tail, get a little bit of that extra cash, and then have a bunch of fun time. I personally feel like the dedication and like being forced into that scenario would make me flourish a little bit better than, crap, I have to go on Saturday morning to be there. Oh man, no, I'm here. If I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna be here for 5 years straight. I'm gonna sit there and be like, yeah, I'm here. I have taken accountability for what I've done, and I am going to make the best of this situation. It'd be kind of that push that I need personally, because I don't have that in the real world. But every weekend for 5 years, I think is just, that'll leave me way too much leeway to just do whatever I want and only suffer a 2-day consequence.
Okay.
It's a weird way to look at it, huh?
Yeah. Since I gave you some time and we're going to close this up shortly, now you can flip it if you have anything you want to ask me.
Give me a minute here.
Okay.
Got some time. What do you think about AI generated art?
I don't know too much about it.
Okay. So basically there are artists that are out there that will, for bands, strictly make AI generated art. They'll claim that they've put something through 800 times in order to generate the proper algorithm, which all they're doing is typing in words into a search bar basically and pumping out images. They say they do that 900 plus times before they get the image that they really want to work with and all this. There are other artists that say that they pump out a few images, try to use some keywords and fine tune those images in order to start with a base and then make what they really want out of that art that they're trying to sell. In my opinion, or in your opinion, do you feel like strictly AI generated art would be okay, or should someone start with a base of if they are to use AI generated art, would they start with a base, or should they just go all out and say, F it, I didn't start this?
I like things authentic, so like I don't really, if you're gonna do something, do it. Don't say you did it. You're typing in word, to get algorithms up or whatever. Like I don't think, maybe because I'm old school and everything, I like things being authentic. Just literally, it is what it is.
Okay.
Not typing. I'll be honest. Even when hashtag came about, I barely ever used that.
I still to this day don't. Hashtagging things started out as something that would be like, hashtagging things is basically like starting a group. Like if you want someone to pay attention to something, you can start this hashtag and people will see it and they can hit that hashtag and it brings you to specific other people that have done those specific hashtags. That's the same thing as a group to me. Like if you want
I
someone to hear about these things, create a group, share it, like create a page and share it over and over again. It was like, I don't know. I feel like hashtagging things, people
like
blew out of proportion. Like it wasn't that big of a deal. It was just another way to hyperlink something.
like to be honest, I'm on TikTok. I'm still learning how to use that. I'm still learning how to.
Mhm.
I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I'm on all the socials except for Twitter. Okay, I'm still learning how to use all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like yes, I have an Instagram, but I don't. I have everything linked together, so all I have to do is hit a button. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like I don't know how to. I do, but I don't. Like I don't have the patience to move this here, move there. To
Yeah.
I don't have the patience.
I will put it this way. You're not alone.
I
I've
just
got
can't do it.
Heretic Promotions. Our TikTok is at 8.9 thousand followers, and I've got Metal TV at 1.4 thousand follower or 104,000 followers. Sorry, I said that wrong. At 104,000 followers. I can't figure out the difference that I did with either one.
I have no.
I
I
just
have
can't
no.
do it. Like I can get 104,000 followers on one page, but I've busted my tail, went viral, did everything I could, constantly interacted on one, and only got 8.9. Like
I
it doesn't make sense to me either,
I
man.
I don't understand the analytics. I don't. I'm just doing me, and hard work pays off eventually. Like I
Yep,
don't know. I
yep,
don't. I look at it and I'm like, I'll go a couple of weeks without looking at it because I don't want to hurt my feelings. Like it's
I
just
hear you there.
like I would literally, because we said everything's mental. Like I don't want to hurt my feelings by looking at something that like one day I'm really shocked, and then the next day I'm like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah,
Like it's same thing with music. You don't know. You could think your song is amazing and your people love it. Everybody from your camp loves it. Everybody, the best feedback from everybody and their mother, and you fucking hate it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like everything's a catch-22. So like you can have the most amazing interview and you have zero views.
yeah,
Like
right.
the no like everything's a numbers game. It really is. But I'm just saying, like I had a Christmas episode with 7 bands on. I think seven or
Mhm.
six bands on. I would have thought that would have been just because who was in the video would be through the roof, or certain videos I would thought would be through the roof, and they're slowly, but like you would think thousands would.
Yeah, in all honesty, you can have the Pope himself on your shit, but if nobody's pushing it, it all depends on the network of people that you have and all the ways that you're pushing things. You have to network properly. You have to promote everything properly. You can't just post something and hope people see it. And you have to hope that the other party is reciprocating and putting in the work that you're doing, and it makes a dependent society, and I don't like it. I think
I,
everybody should be able to just grow their own food. They should be able to make their own clothes. They should be able to create something and trade it to exist.
well,
You know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
like it could, but it just doesn't. You can go somewhere and say, "I'll give you this dime. What do you have in your pocket?" and get a marble and get a car. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, and
you've
keep
seen.
trading up.
I'm saying you've seen videos like that,
Oh yeah.
and
Hmm.
I'm like, let me try that, and I'm gonna get the middle finger.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna trade paperclip. I need a paperclip. I have a marble. You have a marble. She's like, I got the marble. I'll already trade you. You find the paperclip, I'll give you the marble.
I'll give you 10 cents for that marble.
Whoa.
It'll be in the mail.
I
No,
got
but I'm
Facebook
just
Pay.
I'll cash app you 10 cents later. I'm just saying in general, like it. That is the thing. Like you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You could randomly see me tomorrow and pie me in the face, and that goes viral. I'll be in the middle of a mosh pit, and I get hit in the face with a pie, and I go
Where
viral.
where do you live?
I'm in New Jersey, sir. You want to take that hike?
I might. I'd like to go to Jersey. It'd be
Okay.
kind of fun.
I'll be I'll be in Sayreville, New Jersey, 2 o'clock to probably 11 o'clock tomorrow night.
Okay, what are you going there for?
I'll be covering Seven Dust and a few others that are going to be there.
Oh man, I wish I could be there. That'd be really
It's it,
cool.
I believe it's yeah. I think the doors open at like 6:45.
And that means everybody should be there by 6:30.
They should.
Exactly. At the latest.
Like we went to go see Megadeth and Five Finger Death Punch last night.
Hmm.
We got there due to traffic. I mean, that happens. We got there at like 5 o'clock. Doors open
Yeah,
at. I mean, the show started at like 6:45.
definitely a good idea to get there super early. That's one of those things. Honestly, as a musician, if I could give any kind of advice, be an hour early. Don't ever take excuses. Don't ever think if somebody says, "Hey, you want to meet me at 5?" Be there at 4. Because
I
if something goes wrong, you have an hour to figure it out. If you're 15 minutes early and you need an hour to figure it out, that means you're 45 minutes late now.
because here's my thing. There's always a gear problem. There's always.
Exactly.
And to be honest, everybody laughs at me. Why are you so early everywhere you go? I don't like being rushed. You
That's me,
rush
man.
you rush me, my entire day is screwed.
Exactly. I don't want to sit there and be like, "Oh God, I'm about to hit this deadline. I can't keep going. I can't keep going. Oh no. Oh, okay. I might have made it. I might be a little bit late." Or you can be like, "I'm gonna bust tail for a second. Oh shit, I got 45 minutes to spend. Okay, I'm gonna triple check everything I just did." You got
Yeah, I
so much more leeway. You got so much more room. You can literally do whatever you want at that point. I'm one of those people that when I make lyric videos for someone or I make like just random stream videos, sometimes I'll go 45 minutes early to work just because it gives me my quiet alone time and I can actually if work opens up early, I got 7 people waiting on the lot ready to get something done with their car. Shit, I got time to evaluate that. I can go talk to the customers, get some stuff written down, get the day going. But if I'm there 15 minutes until open, then I'm 45 minutes late to everything now. You know what I mean?
like I don't think people realize that. Like it's just not. Like once I'm there, like once I'm wherever I have to be, I'm good. Like I'm not stressed about anything. I'm good. It's even my secondary job. I'm an hour early. I do not. I want to have my monster or my energy drink or my or 2 cigarettes just to have my earbuds in listening to the next band I'm interviewing that week.
Yeah, you should quit smoking though.
I'm gonna get there, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Everybody says I'm gonna, I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda. You do it, man. I promise. You'll feel so much better. You'll just be so much more proud of yourself. I haven't smoked for what 7 years now, baby. Like 6 years. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been like 6 years, and that's one of those things, man. It's just good for you. You'll smell better. You'll feel better. Your skin will clear up. Your eyes will feel better. I promise, man. You got to do it. You got to quit smoking.
I'll try soon.
All right. I'll leave you with a little bit of advice. If you want to quit smoking at any point, the best way that worked for me, honestly, I picked up a cigarette that one day, was ready to smoke my 2 cigarettes before I popped onto work, and I lit up the first one, took one puff out of it, and got disgusted. Threw it away. Went to throw it away, and my buddy wanted the pack, so I gave it to him. But I went and got a vape that was 50 milligrams. Is that what it's called? 50 milligrams of nicotine. It's called Salt Nic, I guess. And I just never even thought about touching a cigarette after that. Because you take one puff off of that and you're like, whoa, I have not hit a cigarette like this. Like still to this day, I'll take a puff off of something 50 mil and get what they call Nick sick. I start to get sick because when somebody catches their kid back in the fucking 80s, 90s, wanting their kid not to smoke ever again, they're like, hey, smoke this whole pack right now. Like, you're going to vomit. You're not going to feel good. It's going to be a horrible, horrible, horrible feeling. Sometimes if I take one too many puffs of something 50 Nick, I'm like, uh-oh,
yeah.
That's not good. So it definitely will curb the, I guess, the want for it.
Okay. So last question of the night.
Okay.
Do you have any messages for your fans?
If you're not laughing, you're not living. The second you start to doubt yourself, the second you start to get to a point where you feel you have to be negative, you've probably already lost. The greatest thing, I suffer from a long, probably like 13 years old is when I started getting really bad depression. I've attempted 4 times now. It's been 8 years since I've attempted. Bully yourself out of negativity. It doesn't matter if you're a musician. It doesn't matter what you do in life. If you feel yourself being negative, talk crap to yourself. Why are you being such a pussy? Come on, grow up. You're better than this. This is what a stupid situation to be so upset about. What a stupid reason to be upset. Like, bully yourself sometimes. Tell yourself that what you're doing is wrong. If you constantly make a negative influence towards negativity, you're going to constantly be positive. And it works. It really does. For me specifically, I can't say that it will work for everybody, but I really hope that it does, because it yielded amazing results for me. And it was all just conjured up in my own head. I've gone to therapy a few times in some of those situations, but I've also stayed away from anything RX. I've stayed away from a lot of counseling, stayed away from taking advice from other people, stayed away from those life coach BS, the people that constantly want to hype up everything. It's not all about hyping. Sometimes it's about stomping out the negative. Like, don't let things be negative. Be as positive as you possibly can. If you're not laughing, you're not living.
Very solid advice.
Thank you.
So you said 3:00 Eastern. It's dropping tomorrow.
I think so. But again, after you questioned, well, not you questioned, I just blatantly missed our deadline earlier today. I started to question what time zone everything's in. If you go and check out Total Death Core's page and Until Royalties page, it comes out tomorrow at some point. It's going to be a fun one. I think it's probably the heaviest thing we've really ever released. Not as many highs in it, like my high screams, yeah, like that kind of stuff. A lot more low. I feel like it's kind of a real heavy track that gets out a good story.
So one last thing, where can you be followed?
What's that?
Where can you be followed?
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube.
All the socials?
I think that's it. Yeah, we don't have like a Snapchat or Bandcamp. I know Spotify. I mean, that's where you can hear us. Can you follow people on Spotify or just like things?
You can. I think you can follow on Spotify as well.
You may not be able to follow us because we go through DistroKid, which, as most people know, they created a record label so that they could monetize. But you can find us on pretty much every major streaming platform, but mainly just all the socials.
Okay.
All under Until Royalty.
So once again, this is going to be on Concert Junkies Facebook page, Concert Junkies YouTube page, and Concert Rob on Twitch.
Hey, if you're not watching this right now, you're missing out, guys.
I want to thank you for everything and your time.
Hey, thank you for hitting me up and even asking. Typically, stuff like this, people want to pay for, and you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. So, God bless you there.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Hey, you too.